have to be in a rhythm. Really, you have to try to breathe a few times on the front straight, because if you're in a battle, you might be holding your breath 3/4 of that lap, not realizing it.
Welcome to Lime Rock Park. Kyle Heyer joined by Greg Kramer. It's like flying fighter jets in a cereal bowl around here.
It really is magic here. Some of the best door-to-door racing on the planet, in my opinion, with the GRIDLIFE Touring Cup.
I've been in a lot of series where I've been podium, no problem. The field is much more stacked in GRIDLIFE than pretty much anywhere else I've raced. This is where I want to be. This is where some of the best racers are.
A lot of drivers who come from other categories where they're absolute front runners have shown up here and said, wow, is this field tough?
I mean, that's why I moved to GRIDLIFE. I was winning a lot in Florida, club racing, NASA, and I wanted more competition. I wanted to become faster. Top 10 is generally always my goal. It's definitely something I've been hoping to get to, because up to this point, I haven't really been there. If I can ever get there, first place for the weekend would be amazing.
And the other driver we just have to talk about is Lena Chin. She came in here, qualified 10th, drove her way up to 6th on the track, and is showing some real speed.
Every time I get out on the track, I feel like I can improve a little bit more, and just working toward that goal, climbing the mountain. Nick Barbado was in front of me, E36 BMW, multi-time national NASA champion. He was the guy I wanted to pass.
Look at Lena!
Woo, side by side there.
Granted, this is his home track, so it was a little more difficult to get around him. You're really heads up, being cognizant of who's behind you, who's beside you, who's in front of you. This just intense concentration of a high-speed game of chess. I love it. It's pretty much my favorite thing. It's the only place I can kind of get it in my life. I'm always checking to see who's coming from behind. If I have a bigger gap from behind, I know I can take a little more battle to the person in front of me. You kind of just stay behind them until they make a mistake. You put the pressure on them. Now, I don't want them to make a mistake, but I want them to know, hey, I'm right here, and if you do make a mistake, I'm probably going to take advantage.
Big cloud of dust out of turn 7. But you're right about Lena closing in on Barbado there. This is a fantastic run for her. Last year was up in the front in the B races, but to race at the front of GLTC, it is so hard, Greg, and this is going to be a huge boost to confidence for her.
And look at this, the pace that Lena was attacking so hard at Barbado, he went, I got to get by Zoo here and give me some breathing room here.
White flag, last lap around Lime Rock Park in GRIDLIFE Touring Cup Race 1.
I had one more dive in on Kevin Zhu. Yeah, coming out of Big Bend into the left-hander. I had actually gotten up on his rear quarter panel before he kind of came over, and I was like, oh, not, you know, probably could have forced the subject a little more. You have to make the best decision you can at the time. I didn't feel like I had enough overlap on him, and I didn't want to pit maneuver one of my friends, one of my competitors. We all want to have a good, clean race. That's really important in GLTC.
Checkered flag, James Houghton for the first time since Midwest Festival in June, wins at Lime Rock Park.
Lena, 6th place, is that her best finish, I think?
That is her best finish. It was previously 10th, it is now 6th place.
To do better than you've ever done, this pure excitement and just joy that you've worked so hard for this.
If we had like 2 more laps, you probably would have gotten me. I was fading.
And it's been great to see a lot of my competitors have risen with me, as we've now been able to have more and more great battles further up the field as we're progressing.
Watching the B races from last year going, oh shit, she can get this done. And then you came out and just laid that down in the race.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Trying to do something.
Yeah. Well, you're doing well. That was so cool.
This is the special flag. This is not a yellow flag, even though it is the color yellow. This is for bears. I don't want you to put the car where it might not work. I want you to put it where you know it will work. If you go 2, 3 wide into a turn, I want you to hold your relative position towards the inside or outside of that racetrack. You do not get to
I think there's a high level of respect needed to race this hard, this close. It does happen. We've all had incidents. We're all trying to improve. It's important to race your friends hard, but we don't want to put anyone, including ourselves, in danger while trying to do it right.
Hi, everybody, and good morning. A beautiful Saturday, August 17th, as we get ready to go racing for the second time this weekend for the A group. James Howden, Matan Rosenberg start in the front row. It's Marchev and Lena Chin in row 2.
This is I think, a career weekend for Lena with the way she's going. Best finish, best qualifying, and now highest start. She starts 4th.
Having only 2 cars in front of me was an amazing feeling. I had no idea how I would be able to hold on to 4th. It's trusting that they will give you the same level of respect back that you want to put out there. I wanted to prove to them that I did belong at the front of the field.
Your 27-car field for GLTC Race 2A. Pace car, the Nissan GTR, is going to peel off and head down the pit lane. Green flag flies and we're racing again at LRP.
5 abreast heading in to Big Bend, and from the outside, beautiful move, Matan Rosenberg in that big Corvette.
Look at Lena Chin up to 3rd place. She took out an opportunity from the outside of row 2.
It's intense. A lot to think about while you're racing, trying to do, really perfect the laps, but I kind of love it. In certain parts of the track, when you get a second, I might look in the rearview mirror to see if Tony had gained or fallen back from me, to see where I might be stronger or where he might be stronger.
And Houghton just setting fast lap. Lena Chin, though, right on his 6th, and bringing Marchev right along with her here.
Tony had a couple good runs on me on the downhill. So as soon as we got on the straight, I took a defensive position on the inside of 1. If he wanted to get me, he would have to do the move that I do, which is take him on the outside.
Marchev taking a look here. Lena Chin right down the middle of the track saying, if you're going to do it, go around the outside. And Marchev just could not quite make that work.
Because it was super intense, having to defend almost every lap.
Lena Chin is just having a career day here.
Tony Marchev wants something to say about that, but then overshoots into Big Bend just a little bit and loses about 4 car lengths.
It's this super fine line of being at the edge of grip and actually sliding. So slip angle is fastest. When the car is absolutely neutral through the corner, you almost free your hands a little bit in the turn versus having to do a correction. Once you start doing a correction, you're slower. It's almost like a ballet where you're just like right there. You have to be very smooth, but very, specific about the moves that you're doing in the car.
Here's the thing, comfort builds confidence, and confidence builds speed. When you're confident, you're going to go fast. So right now, Lena is sticking right with 2 of the top points people and 2 of the fastest drivers in this series. Talk about, as we said, a career event.
I saw the white and I was like, oh, thank goodness. I had enough gap to Tony, so I wasn't going to push too hard on the last lap because I didn't want to make a mistake.
Here they come.
Checkered flag. Matan Rosenberg wins at Lime Rock Park.
I banged on my steering wheel. I was like, yeah! It felt really special because it's like, I was there.
For Lena Chin, her first podium ever in GRIDLIFE Touring Cup.
Man, is she showing everybody that she is for real in GLTC at the sharp end.
Awesome.
Oh, it was so much fun.
That was like a good drive. You look like
I've been wanting to be there a long time, since my first race in 2022. So.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Oh, I'm gonna try. And I was like, oh no, not gonna work out. Not gonna work out. So, but it was it was a really nice job. What you did with defense. So.
I had the goal before this weekend, top 10. If I'm top 10, I'll be happy. Okay. I want to be here all the time.
Right? It feels great.
It feels good.
Feels great. Feels great.
And to note, for those that aren't familiar, GRIDLIFE Touring Cup is balanced with power, weight, and tire, and everyone is supposed to be at their power to weight.
Going to the dyno for impound was a new thing for me. So every race they bring out the scales and depending on that weight determines how much horsepower you're allowed to have for the race.
We have a dynamometer down in the paddock that after the race, a couple of select cars, usually the podium, and then a couple other random cars are gone up and they're measured to see how much power they're making. If your engine makes too much horsepower, that car is going to get penalized.
Dynamometer is a device used to measure the amount of horsepower in a car. It uses some math, a very large metal drum. You put the drive wheels on the drum, and as it spins, it calculates the amount of horsepower your car makes. And went in a little nervous, but no problem. Last time I dynoed it, which was earlier this year, nothing in the car has really changed, that I'd be okay. And yeah. Kind of blew the dyno. A little upsetting. It wasn't by much. 2 of the runs were 3 horsepower over, and then 1 was 6 horsepower over. 6 horsepower is enough to DQ you. I don't think 6 horsepower is enough to really feel. Worked with dynos for years. I was a dyno operator for years. It can change from day to day. After that race, I talked to Andy and we decided to pull out some more power from the car just to make sure that I'm legal. I don't ever want to be illegal. I didn't think I was, so it's just sometimes the dyno gets you.
We'll see if it does better.
Predictability, okay? If you both are okay with racing that way, that's fine, but be sure that the drivers around you know what's coming, okay? Anything else? Race 3 is coming up. We know the statistics on race 3. Don't be a number on a spreadsheet. We know how GRIDLIFE spreadsheets works, okay? All right, let's keep it up this weekend. So far, this is our best festival weekend for incidents. Knock on every piece of wood. It's up to you, fuckers. All right. Thank you.
To the Valley GOTC drivers and cars for race 3, Group B, Bravo. Report to the false grid. GOTC drivers and cars to the false grid for Group B, Bravo.
With our 60 field entrants this weekend, each of these 4 races is split into 2 components, a B race and an A race, with the B race being the slower 30 of the 60 and the A race being the faster group. And interestingly, you'll note the bright blue Honda S2000 leading us to the green flag. Greg, she was on podium in race 2A, but dyno.
Yeah, just a tick over, and it really wasn't enough to offer a huge performance advantage in any way, but rules are rules. And Lena understands that. You know, she was surprised to be over it. Well, again, just very little. So she'll just put her head down, race hard there in that bright blue S2000.
So I got relegated to B race, but I was starting first in B race. It's not a lesser skill, it's not a lesser driver, it's just more on lap time. I was just gonna run my race.
Here we go. Cars are coming down. Chin on the pole.
Green flag, and we're underway at Lime Rock Park. Kevin Zhu has a look at the inside of Kevin Bandy. Brian Leonard, big dodge and weave to try to miss Zach Lavoie.
All of that jockeying. Look what Lena Chin has been able to do. She's taken advantage and opened up a big margin already. Lena has just dropped everybody at this stage. And you can see catching almost a little air up and over that uphill turn.
Thankfully, there were some battles happening behind me and checked out from the field a little bit. The course is very fast. It's less than a minute lap time. With it being so quick, it's easier for me to get into the flow of the track. You just kind of get into this mental headspace. Yeah, front stretch, you're on driver's left. Brake at the 2. Start turning in toward the middle of track to try to hit the first apex into Big Bend. Not too heavy on the brakes, but not too light either. Let the car drift out about a car length and a half for the left-hander. Brake until you can see the exit. Bring it onto the curb. Turn it back the other way for the next corner. don't go over the curb because it is rough. Carry your speed out down the no-name straight. Get ready for the uphill. Expect a little bit of understeer, let the uphill grab you. Over the hill, enjoy the ride, go down to West Bend, hit the apex, go down the hill, breathe off the gas. Once you feel the compression, back on the gas, and then you're back on the front straight. Should only take 58 and some change seconds. I noticed my body's a lot more sore at this race than most races. Just the constant G-forces, you know, your body doesn't have a chance to kind of relax and chill. Like the amount of times we're under a G and a half, you know, maybe up to 1.75 Gs of cornering force is substantial here.
Well, Lena Chin, after getting bumped to the B group after failing post-race tech last time out, she is going to go back to victory lane. GRIDLIFE Touring Cup Race 3B. Lena Chin wins it here at Lime Rock Park.
Well, how was your little single session out there by yourself?
It was a great laughing session. I really enjoyed it.
My wife's rooting for you on the live stream.
Oh, tell her thank you. It was nice to win race 3, but I love coming back to the paddock and just congratulating and hugging a competitor because we had such a good race, and that's really the fun part. It's more than the win. Yeah, it's about the good battles. It's about the good memories and pushing yourself to be better. Race 4 starting in the back of 8. I came from the mid-pack, so I'm no stranger to it. Just got to move up again. Sometimes you feel like a hero for a bit, and then all of a sudden people start getting faster and faster, and you're like, oh, it's not there anymore. And then that's when you get into a few more battles. I've done these back races, you know, starting from the back. They're fun. They're a good time. It's party time.
One last race for GLTC at GRIDLIFE Circuit Legends.
This weekend, you know, called Circuit Legends, and it's about as apropos as it gets because Sam Posey, a legend here, Paul Newman, a legend here, Skip Barber, and then, of course, the new legends that are getting formed in GRIDLIFE. And here comes Lena Chin, as working through on Robertson. And the one thing to watch here is Lena Chin, folks. She is an absolute master of the outside pass.
I've been called the queen of outside passing, which is kind of funny. There's really only one passing zone at this track. Turn 1 is Big Bend. My car has a ton of grip here, and yeah, I can just hold my line really well on the outside for turn 1, and then by turn 2, I now have the inside, and I was able to kind of hold it out there and make up a few positions.
Hard here at a track like Lime Rock to make progress when you get buried for a start.
You know, that's part of the game here, is if you're under attack, put your car where you think you would want to make the pass.
The racecraft. I love seeing where I'm faster than others, where others are faster than me, and just making moves. This track is just all about the flow. It has this sense of danger because of how close some of the guardrails are. The quick elevation changes of Lime Rock are really exciting. It's like a roller coaster you don't want to get off of. I think Greg said it best, is once you start getting up there, 1, you hope that you continue to stay up there, but 2, I think that confidence you get kind of sticks with you.
We have a new fast lap set in the race. Lena Chin.
Really?
Just put the fast lap up on the board, a 59.12. Fast lap in this group, that says something.
I finished 16th. Got the Hard Charger Award and the fastest lap of the race. I think it's cool that I know it's possible. The art of possible is nice. You know, I started questioning how good I was. I know that I can still be up there, fully legal, and take the battle to them. Some people get frustrated, they're like, I should be up there, but I'm like, listen, like, the weekend happens, right? Like, I want to go out and have a good time. I want to play with my friends. You know, it's not the only time I'm going to be up there, and it wasn't a fluke.
No, it sure as hell was.
No, it's coming up.
Seriously,
seeing you.
great racing, good
Thank
weekend.
you. I love this track. I love this race. I want to get a podium in a race. That's next step. I did my top 5 win. If I can ever get there, first place for the weekend would be amazing. Just keep on improving, you know?
She's a star.
It's true.
She is a star, bona fide.